happy rank advancement day. Happy promotion day. I just hit week 2 of 1-star qualifying. Who is with me? Who are we celebrating? Did anybody have any new promotions today? Let us know. Comment. Let me know where you are coming from. I am super excited and a little surprised at how nervous I am to go live in this group because for all I know, you're basically all strangers. So I should not be concerned at all. But before I get going with my top 10 ways that I have found people be stuck, including myself, and solutions to help you, I just wanted to give you a little overview of who I am. And of course, please know that if you have any questions or anything, if I miss it while I'm talking, I will definitely review back and be able to answer questions when I come back on. But I am Jen Hernandez. I'm in Northeast Pennsylvania. I have a 9-year-old son. I am a mortgage processor by day. So I call myself a DJ, a desk jockey, answering the phone, doing all the emails, having all the stuff come at me. I'm a smitten wife. My husband is amazing. And let's see, I'm down over 100 pounds for over 2 years now, thanks to saying yes to Beachbody and thanks to coaching. I think probably one of the biggest things for me is I spent 20 years, I spent all of my 20s and most of my 30s losing and gaining upwards of 50 and 70 pounds. Every 3 months, you got a different size me. And now, thanks to coaching, the last 3.5 years, I've hit 40 at my most healthiest and amazing, and I feel the best I ever have. I've found my voice, I found my passion and excitement, and who would have thought it had to do with health and fitness, especially since I spent so long riding that yo-yo diet roller coaster. So, I really do believe whatever your greatest struggle is the blessing that you're meant to share with others once you overcome it. And so that's one of the things that coaching is for me. And I'm just going to get right into it. So I don't know if there's any other old David Letterman fans, but I wrote down 1 through 10. And I'm just going to fling the cards as I go through them. So I'm just going to get started. Before I get started into these 10, I do want to lovingly encourage you. I want to ask you to listen with an open mind and pay attention. I have learned myself, anyway, that sometimes what you need to hear most is the hardest to hear. So if you find yourself lifting your eyebrow or shaking your head or lifting your lip, ugh, I can't believe you said that. Write that down. There may be something there that you're kind of needing to address or look at, or maybe not. Maybe you just is not for you, and that is fine. But I'm gonna get started with number 10. And number 10 is shuffling the same deck of cards. Oh, it flew perfectly. So this is something that I did a lot when I first got started. I was so frustrated because I felt like it was so hard to hit Success Club. And every month I was just spending hours talking to people and working. And I couldn't figure out why am I only having 1 or 2 people join me? Or why would I have 3 people join me last month and no one joined me this month? And what happened is I had to get real with the fact that when I actually looked at the names of who I was talking to and inviting, I was inviting the same 7 to 10 people over and over again. I wasn't meeting new people. I wasn't following a names list. I didn't do the 200 names. And so I thought I was working really hard and I thought I was reaching out to a lot of people and inviting a lot of people because I, in my own feelings, was inviting people. And it wasn't really that I was inviting people. I was inviting the same people over and over again. And so one way to solve this, if this may be you, if you think this may be you, is to actually do what they say and work from a list. Not only does the list give you the benefit of going back and saying, oh, I haven't talked to Andrea for a while, I need to follow up with her, and have something to work through, especially if you're working a full-time job or you have a busy life. Not only will the list help you go back and find a solution faster, but you'll also be able to get really honest with how many people you're inviting. If a deck of cards is 52 cards and 4 of those cards are aces, It doesn't matter how many times you keep shuffling those 52 cards, and I forget which leader said this on one of the calls, I'm sure, but it doesn't matter how many times you keep shuffling it, you're not going to get another ace. Now, if you keep sharing your story and you keep working your business, yes, eventually one of those 7, 8, 9, 10s is going to flip to an ace and join you at some point, but it's not going to happen every month and instantly. So that's where having a list to work through and continually adding and growing your business and seeing and getting real honest with who you're inviting and what you're doing is going to help you get past this if this is where you're stuck. I personally find that it also helps to have that many conversations going, because the more people you're talking to, when you get some no's or when you have some people not answering, you're still excited and moving forward because you have all these other conversations going. If you're inviting the same 7 people and now you're at like 11 p.m. at the end of the last day to hit your goal, and you're like looking through your messenger and refreshing, those 7 people didn't answer your message before, they're not going to answer this time. Like, you feel like they're holding your business hostage, right? So definitely work from a list, write down who you're actually inviting, and be honest with that to see where is my time and energy actually being spent. Okay. Number 9, you are doing all the things. You are drinking your shake, you are working out, you are reading your personal development, you are doing absolutely everything. You're loving your community, you're showing up on your team calls, you're doing all these things, right? But you are not seeing any results. I want to know, when is the last time someone saw a transformation? So if you scroll your Instagram or you scroll your Facebook, when is the last time you shared your transformation, either physically or energy or positivity? Have you talked? When is the last time you talked about how much you love your community or what they've done for you? When is the last time you talked about something you've learned in the books that you're reading? This is, I'm doing all the things, but I'm not telling anybody. So that is what number 9 is. It's doing all the things, but not actually sharing and talking about it. And so nobody sees you doing all the things. So they don't know that you have a business. They may not even be able to scroll back and see that you have a business or anything to join. So your solution here is to get a template. Both in so many different resources, there are templates that you can follow, posting templates. A big one that Beachbody offers is your Success Club tracker. It gives you the things to post about to show what you're doing. It gives you what to put in your stories. So this is a template you can follow. A lot of teams that I've seen have their own templates and things that they use for new coaches. But using a template to make sure that your social media is sharing. I think the weekly calendar, getting to plan out your calendar, whether you use a printed weekly calendar, whether you use your actual day planner book, like actually sitting down and planning out what you're going to post to make sure that you're sharing the things that you're doing is something that is really, really going to help you, so that people know that you have something that you're doing. So number 9 is not sharing. On the other side, number 8 is oversharing. You're like, okay, Jen, you told me to share, I'm supposed to share, and now I'm sharing too much. What is that possible? So what I mean by oversharing is just because you are a coach and we share our lives and we are being real upfront and open, or like was on the call last week, like sharing the real, the REAL, like sharing the real of what's going on, it doesn't give everybody in public social media world the rights to hear absolutely everything. And so sometimes we can overshare about our personal lives or struggles, or we can overshare the negative and miss where we're like giving them the solution. And so if you're oversharing personal life and struggles and things like that, or you're oversharing the negative, you are going to attract people that want to commiserate and complain with you. And I don't know about you, but it is way more easy to run in a river with the positive than to fight upstream against the negative and overcome negativity. So number 8 is oversharing the negative. And so the way to fix that is, like I said, if I'm not saying you have to have a perfect Pollyanna, beautiful smile every single day and that you can't have struggles and that you can't miss things. Not about perfection. But are you sharing about overcoming it? Did you miss your workout yesterday and you got it, you got it in this morning and you realize how to set yourself up for success? Like, do you have a win or a solution to help when someone feels that struggle? Are you giving them the solution to overcome that hurdle with that negativity? Number 7. Okay. Number 7 is holding them hostage because you're not inviting them. I think if I had no cards, they would fly better. But holding them hostage because you're not inviting them. So this is where you're showing and you're giving a lot of free value. You're sharing a lot of positivity. You're sharing a lot of solutions. Maybe you're sharing your workouts, but people just look at you as an inspiration. In fact, a clue that you may be struggling with this one is if people expect that what you're offering is free. They don't expect to have to pay anything because they expect that you're just going to give them the meal plans and the workouts and everything that you paid for and your business. Everything that you paid for should be free. And so that may be a clue that maybe you're struggling with this. They don't realize you have something to invite to, or they don't realize that you are talking to them when you're saying, join me. So, perfect example of this is if you go to a store, any kind of store, anywhere where receptionists have big bowls of candy on the desk. If a receptionist has a big bowl of candy on the desk, I think it's safe to say that 99% of us know that is public candy and that anybody can help themselves to that bowl. That being said, how many of us want the candy and we're like wanting the candy, but we're like, man, I wish she would offer me the candy. I want the candy so bad. Why won't she offer me the candy? The candy is there to share. But the fact is, some people see the candy there, walk up, they want the candy, they take it. Hey, thanks for the candy, and walk away. Other people need to be offered the candy. They want it. They want the candy, but they will only take it once the receptionist offers them. That's how I feel it is with this opportunity. I can't tell you how many times I have had people who are now like getting results and working out with me and loving our programs. How many times I reach out privately and invite them and they're like, oh my God, I have been waiting for you to ask me. It's like, what? I've made a post for 2 years saying, join me, and I've been thinking about you. Like, why haven't you reached out to me? They're scared. They're waiting for the invite. They don't really know if it's you talking to them or if it's just them like recognizing you, right? And so taking that step from someone who is liking your posts or seeing your posts or someone who you know, and taking that step to privately invite them, to actually make the invitation to them. I can't tell you how many times that has happened to me. At least 2 that I'm thinking of by name right now. But several times that's happened. And I love the recognition of that idea of candy sitting on a receptionist desk and how often I have wanted the candy in someone's sharing bowl, but not taken it because they didn't offer it to me. Or how many times you didn't add an upgrade. Now, I haven't been in the drive-thru in a long time, but I used to only take the upgrade to supersize if they offered it to me because I wanted supersize all the time. But if they didn't offer it to me, for some reason, I just didn't think it was meant for me. I don't know why. I'm glad that I didn't supersize as much as I did. But anyway, okay. So number 6. This is Eeyore. I'm not, nobody wants to join me. This is like focusing on the negative. This is focusing on all the reasons that this isn't going to work for you. Your schedule's too busy. You don't have support at home. Your husband likes to eat all the chips and everything. And your husband doesn't want you to do this, or you can't do this because of the kids, or your schedule won't let you do that. It's like focusing on all the negative pieces and what you can't control. And number 6 is probably the biggest one that I can't really give you a true solution for, other than you just got to do it. You got to decide. And not that you have to do it, but you have to decide. Like, do you really want this? Like, do you feel good? Do you want to find a solution? Then these challenges that are around you, like your husband's not supportive and he's eating lots of crap in front of you, perfect. That's exactly why you need a group of people to help you on this journey. That is my story. My husband doesn't want to follow our plans or involve himself in drinking the shake or anything like that. He tells me like, no, thank you all the time. He'll sit next to me with like 3 different kinds of chips and stuff to watch a movie on Friday night. He is not in my team as far as that goes, but I can lean into the other women in my boot camp who have that same struggle. And when they say, it's so hard because they're sitting here and he's eating this, I'm like, I know, I live that. And this is what I do. I make sure I eat all my food throughout the day. I make sure I get all my water. And when we sit down for movie night, I hold on to some hot tea. I already make up my mind before I go in. Now we have bevy, which is like really helped nip that in the bud, because I enjoy the popcorn sometimes. I enjoy the chips sometimes. But I realized I was maybe like letting myself have a little too much. But now we've got the bevy. Like, I have to tell you, the bevy is awesome. And I'm pointing because it's like right here. But the bevy has totally helped me in those moments where it feels like a treat at 9 p.m. And I haven't even touched any of his chips or popcorn since the bevy came in. And usually I'm good for like at least once a week to have like one chip or a little bit of a party with him. But not at all since I've had the bevy, because the bevy feels like a treat. And I feel good and I feel in control, and I think it's just silly to eat chips at 11 p.m. now. But having that community, that like, you need it. So wherever you are, if you are focusing on the negative, what you focus on, you feel. And so if you really want this, the solution is just decide and do it. Like, just decide and take some action, because focusing on the negative or all the reasons you can't is not going to help you move forward. Okay, number 5. This is Busy Bee. This is someone who is all over the place. They are commenting on everybody's posts everywhere. They are watching all the trainings. You don't even know how they watch so many trainings in one day. They are all over the place doing all the things except for sharing their journey and inviting people to join them. And so you can get stuck on all the stuff and spend all your time doing the things that don't actually move your business forward. And so the action solution for this is to use the systems already in place. You don't have to watch all the trainings before you get started. You don't have to know all the stuff. In fact, it is very helpful if you don't know everything, because when somebody asks you a question, you can say, that's a great question. I don't know the answer, but I know where to find it. Let me see, and go in the FAQs, go in the back office, go in your coach page. Even my friend Google has almost all the answers. If you throw Beachbody in front of it, it finds it, hooks me up to the right answer. And then not only are you taking the pressure off trying to do everything before you start, but you're also showing them that they don't have to know everything to join you, and that you are human. You're not some superhuman who is doing all the things that now they have to do all the things too. Because they may be looking at you and saying, well, she's reading, 5 books a month and she's on a training 6 times a day. I couldn't be on a training 6 times a day. So they're seeing what you're doing and they're going to say, I couldn't do that, so I'm not going to. And so being busy with all the stuff except for the stuff that moves the business forward is not going to help you. So lean into your groups, lean into, scripts, and lean into your tracking, especially. If you are someone, I'm just grabbing my tracker here. So this is something like, if you're someone like me that has very little time, I mean, the last 2 months I've worked almost 70 hours a week in Mortgage World. So I don't have a lot of time. So if you told me I had to spend 6 hours a week training before I actually invited anyone, my business wouldn't move at all, because by the time I get that training done, my window's closed. So using the tracker, notice how it's recommending at your minimum investment is 15 minutes a day. So if you're only having an hour a day to work your business and you're spending that hour in training, even with like National Wake Up Call, that takes Monday out if you truly only have an hour. So making sure that you're hitting all the other marks. And then that's where having the data, just like with To Be Mindset or Portion Fix, like without the data, we can't really uncover why you're losing or gaining, why you're not losing, if you're gaining, without that, this picture is going to say, okay, I'm missing these marks. That's why my wheel's not turning. So I like to picture it like a wheel on a bike, and it has spokes. And all of these pieces on the tracker are the spokes that keep the wheel tight, right? And keep it going smoothly. If you see you're missing a couple of the marks on a regular basis, you know which spoke is missing, and when the wheel gets that side, it's going to be flat and get stuck. And then that will help you get unstuck when you identify that. But that's where tracking is going to be your friend and help you there. Number 4, getting ready to get ready. Oops. This is my fellow recovering perfectionist. This is someone who wants to have their office organized before they invite. They want to have their groups set up and have all their Google Forms made, have all their new coach getting started, planners reorganized, have everything done before they get started inviting, because they don't want to invite anybody until they're at their goal weight, they're at their success, they know exactly what to do and how to do it. And here's the thing. Coaching is on the job training. Like, the best way to learn and help others is actually be in those conversations, talking to others and inviting others and learning along the way. The best thing to do, like to have someone join your group and go with you to push for the next goal with you, is to actually be doing it with you instead of waiting for it. My solution for someone who is getting ready to get ready is look at the personal development you're reading. I think Finish by John Acuff was a really good book for me that helped me look at finishing. So that may be something really good to help you like get going and keep going. Sean Akers' The Happiness Project was one that helped me through that a lot. And there's some other really great books. I'm sure other people could recommend, as well. But those are things like, it doesn't have to be perfect. There's like so much more beauty, and you can relate to others so much more when you are willing to be real. Just again, like she shared last week, like be real. What is going on? What is it that you're able to do? Number 3. Now, you guys don't know me, so you don't know number 3 is my favorite number. And I am going to challenge myself on number 3, because number 3 is being selfish. And this is something I struggled with a lot. And so I am not saying this lightly, that you may like get the stink face look at me when you hear about this being selfish, and explain to me all the reasons why you're not selfish and that's not what this is. So I do not share this one lightly, but I feel it's very, very important. So number 3 is being selfish. And here's how you're being selfish. If you don't want to bother someone, if you don't want to follow up because you don't want to seem salesy, if you don't want to invite someone because you don't want to bother them or seem salesy, if you have that kind of narrative running in your head, you're missing the point, and you're actually not inviting them because you're scared of perceived possible pain, your personal possible pain, which is why I say it's being selfish. Like, if you don't want to follow up with me because you're scared that I'm going to get mad at you, or I'm going to be annoyed that you're trying to sell me something, you're missing all the good that I could possibly get by joining you. You're totally looking at it as though you joining me is me winning and you lose. And the thing is, this is a win-win. This is probably one of the only situations that saying yes and paying money to join you is a win-win, right? Because let's go back 3.5 years. I am crazy thankful that Jamie kept inviting me. I said no at least 8 times. I had, done this 4 years ago for 2 months. I'd done this, 6 years ago for a month. Like, no, I'm not interested. I don't want anything to do with it. I said no a lot. Here's the thing. Finally saying yes because she didn't stop asking, even though I could have fired off at her at any given bad moment. She didn't stop asking. I'm now down over 100 pounds for over 2 years. I'm off 2 prescriptions. I haven't worn glasses since month 4 of Shakeology. My husband's been a stay-at-home dad. I am a totally different woman. I mean, don't even take into account being over 100 pounds down. Like, I am totally a different woman. You would not find me with blonde hair and bright colors, wearing like a cut-off belly shirt. Like, you would not find this Jennifer 3.5 years ago. 3.5 years ago, you would find me hiding in all black. I mean, I get the shirt's black, but I'm not really hiding. I'm not like... I'm all about the bright colors. This is not hiding. But 3.5 years ago, I would be hiding in all black. I would be not wearing any bright colored lipstick or anything because I didn't want to stick out. I would be 100 pounds heavier. I would be negative and angry and just frustrated, ready to leave work. I would be ordering takeout, spending close to $70 a week on just breakfast. Just drive-through breakfast was close to $70 a week. I would come home from work grumpy. I had a 4-year-old and he didn't get a lot of my time. My husband would come up and touch my side because he loved me at every size, and he would touch my side and I would get angry and pull away. I would hit next on Netflix till 2 a.m. My husband and I actually got in a really big fight because I would hit snooze for almost 2 hours every day because I was going to be better. I was going to be better. I was going to be better. That was the me 3.5 years ago. I've gained so much saying yes to this opportunity. I don't feel bad, and I'm no longer being selfish and not following up. I am following up. Until you tell me no, I'm going to ask you. There's great easy ways to follow up. Follow up and say, hey, I know last month wasn't great. And it wasn't the right timing, but is this different timing? Can I, invite you with this work? Is this something we could talk about again? Or maybe when someone says no, just ask permission ahead of time. So is it because you already have a system that's working for you? Or can I follow up with you in a month? Maybe it would be better timing. Can I ask why not now? Do you have something else going on? Just ask. This is your opportunity to learn and grow. And if someone wants to get upset with you, Lord, I'm using it to prop up my computer, or I would show you, but The 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz, huge life-changing book for me. And I always have it on my desk to remind myself that someone else being upset is not your fault. I know my heart and how good this is for me, how much I've improved. I haven't used a credit card in 1.5 years. Up until 1.5 years ago, I would pay my groceries and gas on credit card because I was buying everything I could to feel good about myself. I'm moving in the direction of debt free. I'm moving in the position of success that gets me out of a day job that's sucking the life out of me right now. I'm doing all these things because I said yes to this opportunity. I don't feel bad about inviting. And in fact, if I do let that little selfish, scary monster get in my head, I know the first thing I look at is, have I been tracking? Have I been doing personal development? I bet I haven't been reading my personal development. I bet I haven't been taking care of myself first. I need to go fix my mindset, fix myself, and then come back to it because I know how much this has changed for me. So, Jasmine, I'm glad I'm not alone. I thought it was just me. But that's a big one for me. Number 3 is born March 3rd. 3s are my favorite, and so I had to challenge myself with that one. But yeah, being selfish if you don't follow up, and it's being selfish if you don't invite someone because you're scared of what they may say to you. And if you think you're taking from them or being salesy, then you're missing what you're offering them. And God, go look at some of our transformation stories. Go look at some of our success stories. Go look at some of the life-changing things coaching and our products have done. Go look at the Beachbody Championships. There are hundreds of them on YouTube. Go look at all of them. Go on the blog. You can find so many reasons why you are making an opportunity. And that's all we're doing is we're offering. If they say no, that does not make my yes a no. Someone saying no does not make my yes a no, right? Just like someone else's success is not my failure. Oh my God, Jasmine. Okay, so I'm going to bet that you're also a recovering people pleaser and comparison person because that's me. And so I had to recover from that by working through that and realizing that someone else's success is not my failure. It's them showing me it can be done. I just didn't learn what I need to learn to get there yet. And I'm getting all hyped up and verklempt because this is me. This is what I'm pushing through and have overcome and has been life-changing for me. And it's in those moments that then I pushed past to the next piece, right? Okay, so number 2 is ice to an Eskimo. You are trying to sell ice to an Eskimo. And what I mean by that is you are trying to lead with fitness and you're trying to go into the gym or you're trying to go into, CrossFit communities or running communities or heavy fitness communities who already have fitness things going on and sell them the fitness part. So we in reality, as much as our super trainers are flipping amazing and our plans are flipping amazing and on demand has saved my whole family so much money. I'm doing the old David Letterman thing. But like, as much as the fitness is huge, it is the smallest part of what we offer and where most people really are stuck. And if you go into a fitness community and try to change what they're doing, you're going to be like fighting upstream. Like, it's just going to be so much harder. Go into the fitness community and say, do you have recovery products that you use? Like, would it be beneficial to have nutrition? Because you're already shredding and working hard on your body. Are you getting the results you want? Are you struggling with the macros? You know, I have macros made easy. I can help you. You know, do you struggle with like going hard at the gym all week long and then you end up like gaining everything you lost back on the weekend? I have a great mindset plan that'll help you with intuitive eating. Like, would that be beneficial for you? So if you're going to go into those gym communities and those workout communities, go to them with what they're not using. Like, don't try to sell them what they're already doing, right? Like, connect them to. And like, this was a huge aha moment. I did like a combined talk to some people and I was paired up with a personal trainer. The personal trainer, whose full-time job is to personally train people in fitness, said 90% of your results come from the food you eat. And I was like, she teed me up perfectly. Like, she totally teed me up. I'm talking after her. She's my partner. I'm offering the nutrition pieces. She's the fitness person saying you need nutrition. Like, thank you. Yes, we need nutrition. If we're going to work out hard, we need to fuel our bodies right. And I have to be honest, in my 20 years of yo-yo dieting, I thought the gym was missing because that was the easiest thing to see I wasn't doing regularly. I would go to the gym, I would join a gym, I'd walk around, I'd take a class. If no class was going, I'd walk around. And so I felt like I was missing the gym, and that was my problem. In reality, it was that seemingly small choice every day to go through the drive-through and to not plan my food and to not watch that although I ate veggies, I was only eating like 2 cups a day instead of 5, you know, like it was those seemingly small nutrition things. Okay, Jasmine, you're on, we're best friends. But seriously, like, nutrition is the biggest piece. So lead with the nutrition solution that you have and the community, especially right now. Like, we need community. We need positivity, lifting each other up. It's hard to come home from a long day of work, especially now that like a lot of long days at work are me right here for 15 hours hearing my family, not seeing them, and not having an actual commute to like release the work stuff. Like, if now more than ever, we need our communities and all those other pieces we offer around it. The mindset and the community and the personal development. Gosh, I was so excited in 1998 when I graduated high school because I was like, school is over. I don't have to learn anymore. That was like the best part of life is learning. That's when you get to try new things. And it took me how many years, almost 20 years to get to where like, oh, I want to read a book. Oh, did you read this book? Like, this is awesome. Like, oh, just what I learned last month. Oh, just what I learned the month before. Like all these pieces that you learn, like people need that. People need us. So lead with those pieces. And I love that it's okay if you work out in a gym. It's okay if you want to go back to the gym when it opens. This can fit right alongside of that. Oh yeah, 98. Oh, it's your 20. Oh no, it's your 21st year this year. Happy anniversary. Graduation. Okay, we are coming down to the last one. And this is probably one of my favorite ones because again, this is something that was me a lot. And all these 10 things I shared, like, I want to tell you, if you feel like, oh my God, I can't do this because like all those things are me all the time. Like, I get it. Like, I'm going to tell you what to do next. Don't worry. Don't panic. Like, this is not meant to be a negative. This is just meant to give you some solutions. But here we go. Number 1, here we go. You are a leaf in a tornado. You are just flying at the whim of your seats. Like, somebody tells you to do something, you go do it. You're like flying and doing like all the things and just like all over the place. You're always thinking about your business. You're always jumping on the phone to send out a message or to look if you got messages or to refresh your notifications or to see if anyone commented or to check your stories or maybe do another story. You're like just like all over the place. You're like a leaf in a tornado. And what you really just would benefit from is carving it down instead of trying to do it all all day long. Set that office hour. We talk about scheduling office hours in reverse. So instead of actually saying I'm in the office from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., say I'm out of the office from 10 p.m. on, right? And then actually turn off your phone, like have an out of office so you can like decompress. This is also where having some focused time to like, I know it can be so exciting. I bet you can relate to this, Jasmine. You're like, oh my God, I got a message. Somebody wants information. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get you started, right? And you stop whatever you were doing so that you can go message and like get them started. Like, yes, there is a time for that. And sometimes we need that, but also like letting them wait for a reply shows them that you have some boundaries to work with and that, you know, you will get to them. They are important to you. You will answer them in the time, and just staying focused. And that's where using a tracker and like seeing that you're getting all the things. Because what I find is when I am the leaf in the tornado, my tracker ends up really lopsided and I really end up missing a lot of pieces. And I know it seems like super simple. Like, of course, I know I got to do that. I know I got to do that. I know I got to do that. But did it happen? And does it get done on a regular basis? I know I'm guilty of not getting it done, especially when things go crazy and haywire, right? So following the tracker is the best thing that you can do for yourself. I cannot show you a year of trackers because this is something I am working on, and something that I was like, okay, I have, you know, I started 1-star qualification last week. I want to push and get to 2-star and 3-star this month, and so I know I have to have some focused time to work. And so that's why like I broke out the names list. I broke out using the tracker, and I'm like, okay. And then I saw Shaw's post today, show your tracker. I'm like, oh, I better start tracking. They're going to start looking for my tracker, and I should be doing it anyway because that's the best way I can help my business and see where my spokes are missing. Like I was sharing about the spokes on a wheel is if you don't have your tracker, you can't accurately look at what part you're really missing. And if you're not doing all the pieces on your tracker, whatever you're missing, your tire gets flat, and that's where it gets stuck and hung up. And you can say, I'm making great posts, I'm talking to so many people, I'm doing all these things, where am I missing it? But if you don't have the data, I can't help you. So huge when a client is not getting results with their nutrition, right? I think it's easier to look at with nutrition, be like, I'm eating healthy. I don't understand what's going wrong. Have you ever had a cookie and forgot an hour later? Just me? I'm the only one who's eaten a cookie and forgot an hour later. I have totally done that. Am I the only one that's like walking through the kitchen to take the laundry and I grab a handful of cashews because they're unsalted and they're cashews and they're healthy, and then I forget to write it in my tracker? That seemingly small handful of cashews, I measured, my handful of cashews is almost a cup. Almost a cup. Like if you follow Portion Fix, like our cashew count's like really small. And although I'm a 2B mindsetter for life, I wasn't tracking that cup. And so when you look at my tracker, you'll be like, yeah, I don't know why you're not getting results. Oh, but you weren't tracking it, so you don't know for sure, because it's those things you leave out, those seemingly small things that you forget about, that you leave out, that have you to where you are, right? And so I want to encourage you that tracking is important. It's going to take off some of the stress and pressure, and you can identify those places that need a little more time or need a little bit more work. And like maybe you find that if you close your office door and you sit down with some good music, you can crank out 20 invites. I'll tell you, the first 3 invites are the hardest. But once you invite 3 people, if you stay focused on that inviting task for the 15 or 20 minutes that it tells you to, you will totally invite like 20 or 30 people so much faster than if you just invite 1 or 3 every couple hours, right? Every couple minutes. Or if you let yourself get stuck and carried away in other conversations. So something that I know my coach shared with me is she does a lot of her invites at super, super early in the morning, like 5, 6 a.m. Or somebody recommended that to me. My coach doesn't wake up at 6 a.m., so I don't remember. Maybe she did when she was working. But anyway, like 5 or 6 a.m., send out those invites because most people are not going to reply. And that way you can actually focused get through 20 or 30 invites that at the end of the night, when you're coming back to message and answer people, you should have some replies going, especially if you had some stories and you had some posts and you had some engagement and things and you follow the other parts of the tracker. So where do we all go with this? Like I said, these are the top 10 ways that I personally have been involved in and found have kept me stuck from moving forward. And what I want to encourage you is, it is okay if you identify with all of them. Don't think that you have to change all of them. My action ask of you is, if you watch this video, I would love for you to pick just one of them. Just one that you're saying, okay, yeah, I really, really need to address that. And then just pick one action, because for me, action cures everything. And although action cures everything, sometimes we can be taking too much action, like the tornado. So what one action are you willing to take after you watch this video today? And then will you come back and let me know when you take it and when you do it? So for me, in preparation for this video, in revisiting these 10 things, I realized I was letting myself be the tornado of excitement of jumping around all the new people starting, jumping around the group, jumping around what was happening, and I lost sight of my tracking. And so the last 6 or 7 weeks, I haven't tracked at all. And so I went back through my messenger, I refocused my tracking, and I'm committed to using my tracker forward. I shared my tracker in my 3 private accountability message threads, both for my team and my leaders and my Diamond Dash group. We're all in there. I shared it. I said, anybody else want to go with me and refocus on the tracker? And so that's the best thing you can do. It's the best thing that's helped me on my health journey, is putting it out there and letting people know I'm going to work on it. So that's what I'm asking. Just pick one action. And like I said, do not feel bad if all these things are you. If all of them are you, number 6, being Eeyore, is going to be the one I'm going to assign to you, because you can't move forward with a negative mindset. So definitely find your focus and your joy and what you really want, and then decide to move forward. But if everything else, if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know where to start, just breathe, smile, know you were exactly where you were meant to be to watch this video, and I thank you for hearing me. And I just want to ask you to take one action and then share with us after you do how it went. I'm someone who, it took me 6 months to read a book. I started, and I told myself I was going to read a chapter a day. I started back in November, and I'm going to read a chapter a day. Well, what happened is, every day that I didn't have the time to read a whole chapter, guess what? I didn't read it all. So for 6 months, I was going to start this book and read a chapter. I got through maybe one chapter on one Saturday, and I didn't read or finish any of the books. I just listened to Audible and YouTubes and stuff. And what I realized is, doing nothing because I can't do it all is not moving me forward. So I picked something seemingly simply small, and I said, okay, I'm reading 1 page a day. Would you know, in 6 weeks, I finished that book reading 1 page a day, versus the 6 months it took me to read a little over 1 chapter. Just that little mindset trick, just that little to be mindset trick of, 2 pounds at a time, just little steps forward. Don't try to eat it all. Don't try to do all these 10 things. Just take that one little step forward, take that one little action forward, and shake it off, and then take another step forward and shake it off. And so hopefully this was helpful. I'm excited. Thank you, Andrea, for sharing. Okay, perfect. I love that. I'd love to hear what questions you ask. There's some great top coaches that have videos on videos and things they send to personal trainers. I have some questions and things that I ask personal trainers as well. I'm happy to troubleshoot that with you in the comments and hear what you come up with. And Jasmine, yes. Okay, so I believe you're going to commit to the tracker then, so you can see that you're hitting all the marks. So I'm going to see you sharing with me on Shaw's post every week when we're showing our tracker. Right? And we're BFFs anyway, so I'm sure we're going to chat again. So I want to thank you guys for letting me come in and talk and share. It was truly a joy. I am so thankful, and I'm excited. Honestly, what I'm most excited about is for one day for one of my coaches to be sharing in a group like this, or sharing on stage. That just gives me goosebumps just thinking about it, because I want to help thousands of people. I want to change this world, and it starts with one person at a time. So I'm thankful to you guys for hearing me, and let's do this. Let's celebrate all the promotions that are happening today, and let's make this day great. Have a good one. Thanks for joining.